Welcome to Ben Nevares podcast with your host, Ben Nevares.
Unfortunately, very unattractive, and I wanted her personality to be attractive, and unfortunately, I think also not so much. And so
she seems like she's a lot, like, quite needy.
Very. Isn't it cool? We could talk about people and no one ever know.
Yeah,
I mean, they could know, but
they could know.
Highly unlikely.
Like, are they talking about me?
Other people is definitely fun.
Am I the drama?
You know, sometimes yes, I am. Are you the drama? Also, probably sometimes yes. You know, we're all,
probably sometimes yes.
Yeah, we're all, I think, the drama at a lot of different times.
I feel like I mind my own business most of the time, but I do like to judge other people.
Yeah, that's fair. You are on your own quite a bit, you know?
Yeah.
Headphones in a lot.
Yeah. I like to do my own thing for the most part. It's like, also I hyperfixate when it's like today, I was like, okay, I got to get my tattoo, got to do Ben's podcast. I have to just determine from 10 to 2, it's workout time, and we're not doing anything else because I want to get as many MEPs. There's a member there that's trying to keep up with me, and he's doing a pretty good job. I'll give him that, but I'm like, well, I'm not going to let you catch up. So,
That's
you know,
a tizzy.
once I'm not gonna back down from a challenge. You're challenging me. I'm going to now try to destroy you.
It sounds like Joe Rogan on October. Sober October. Yeah, very similar. I was listening to. What's that guy's name? The guy that just fought in 300, Max Holloway. I was listening to him, his podcast with what's his name, Rogan, and there's they were mentioning it just takes a different type of human to get into a ring with somebody and like exchange hands, and like you got to be a little bit fucking crazy, and so you know obviously you kind of have a little bit of that, or a lot of it of it.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
It's a good thing.
You are recording now.
Oh, 100%.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, and it's the shitty thing is like not being able to do it for a significant amount of time. I'm like, keep on getting closer to like crossing that line of like illegally putting my hands on somebody. And like, you know, that's why another reason why I avoid people and just put my headphones in. Cause I'm like, you know, if I have an interaction with somebody and it doesn't go to my liking, I don't know what I'm going to do. Like I'm probably going to try to control myself or take a step back, but it's also just going to eat at me for the rest of the day of like, oh, that guy doesn't think that I can kill him, and I could show him that I could probably take his life relatively easily, but I just got to let it go, you know.
Jeez.
There's that guy that does jump rope all the time that I wouldn't mind expressing.
I avoid him. I avoid him at all costs because I'm like, you know, it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
You and everyone else in that gym.
I don't understand how you can be just so disrespectful for no reason whatsoever. Like I'm in the middle of a session with one of my clients, and we're benching, and all of a sudden he comes up and just like takes the weights off of the rack, and I'm like,
off of your bench?
It wasn't off of the bench bar, but it was off of the rack.
Right.
And it was like,
excuse me.
Yeah, you want to say something? You want to ask me like, what am I doing, or like, are you guys going to use this? You're just gonna
basic decency.
Like, I don't know what is in your head that you do that kind of shit.
He's just a dickhead, and I don't feel like he's been put in his place. And it's like, I don't want to be the person to do it because I'm going to probably get an assault charge. And it's like, I'm obviously going to lose my job too.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you know, like if you want to have that fucking kind of attitude, like, you know, we can have that kind of attitude. Let's have that attitude in jiu-jitsu class. And then I get to roll, and then I get to fucking choke you until you're unconscious. And then you probably don't act that way anymore. You know, that's like, there's been a couple times where I'd be like, hey man, like, if you want to fucking have an attitude, let's like step outside and you can have an attitude out there. Like this is not in a public place. This is not the place.
It's really not.
You know? And there's so weird too. Like he only cops an attitude with certain people
that he knows he can bully. Right. That's what it is. Is like, oh, if he feels like he can flex on somebody, and then they'll be like, oh,
I'm so sorry. Excuse me.
Sorry. Yeah.
And I think that he is not correctly judging people.
Oh, like, 100%.
I don't know, and maybe it's just maybe he's right, and I wouldn't do anything, but I ultimately at the end of the day I don't find it to be worth it. But it's
at the end of the day though, like you're definitely someone that is going to confront. You know what I mean?
If he crosses the line, right? There is a line.
There is a line,
yeah.
And I think that right up to that line, I think is that like you're starting to take weights off the rack.
You're flirting with it. You're playing with the line a little bit.
Yeah.
You're getting close to the line. You're not quite crossing it, but you're like, I'm going to cross it. No, I'm not.
Like I don't really know what that.
Work.
Right. It doesn't seem like he can function in normal society, or like maybe he just hates his job so much that like that couple hours he's in the gym is his time to be a dickhead to everybody and get out all of his frustrations. That's my other thing is too, like you must be really unhappy in the rest of your life for you to act this way here in a public place.
Yeah.
Our GM's been talking to him a lot and he like seems to have a good rapport with them. So I'm like, cool. Hopefully he changes his attitude and like doesn't cause a bunch of problems now.
He hasn't.
Since then,
there you go.
The same.
I think oddly enough, I think there's a comedian that talked about this as well, but like how white guys and white guys don't really have like a connection with each other. But if like another black dude and another black dude, like
Segura.
It's like, is it Tom?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
He's like, he's like the black of like, at the end of the day, we are brothers and I will like fight for you. Whereas white guys is like, that's not my fucking business. You're because you're about to get murdered.
Yeah, that's it right there. Murdered. Yeah. I think that unfortunately it could be that like the GM and the him are just like, what's up, man?
Yeah.
And I don't like that.
Right. So well, it's like that's popular Mexican culture too. Like La Raza, like, you're like, you stick with 100%. Your people, right? But like white people have none of that because it's like there's Irish people and there's Italian people and there's British people. Like Irish people fucking kill each other all the time. Just that Northern Irish versus Southern, like Irish Republic shit. Like that, those people are fucking batshit crazy and they're beating they're fucking blowing each other up with fucking bombs that fucking nails come out of them and shit. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
And like North versus South America, like we're just fucking killing each other and like putting each other in prisons and fucking not treating each other very well. Like, yeah, the white people, there's like no loyalty. It's like every man's out for themselves unless we like make some kind of treaty. Like, there's got to be some paperwork involved here, or like we're going to reunite in order to conquer somebody else. But like, nah, like fuck you for the most part.
The origination of lawyers is because of the white people.
Yeah.
We need everything in writing.
Yeah.
I just feel like as white people, like we just have no culture. That's why I like her like doing her hula and stuff, because I'm like, it's cool that you guys have culture, because white people, we don't really have that. Like, it's like, what is our culture? Like trailer parks and Kid Rock and like Nickelback and Creed and like,
those are good ones.
Most of our culture is like just taking other people's culture and being like Taco Bell, check it out, or Chipotle, check it out, Mexican Subway. Like, we're just gonna take other people's thing, turn it into like a Subway, and like make a bunch of money off of it. Like, our culture is just make a fucking profit. Yeah.
I think that's an unfortunate reality.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that exists here in the States. But if I think what is the culture on the other side of the world? Like the Italians, I guess, are wine. It's food related, I think, which I guess like all culture has that.
Yeah.
But like, what are the traditions associated outside of just food? I don't really know.
Well, when I say white people, I mean American people. Like, there's not really an American, like there is, I guess, Bud Light and fucking trucks and fucking dumb stuff. But like Greece, like there's a culture there. Like, they have a history, there it goes back to the fucking Olympics and Sparta and all that shit. Like, yeah.
You're talking about
America. We haven't been around, I guess, long enough to establish like a culture. Like, I guess we're still trying to figure that out. Maybe, I don't know.
And it'll just be a mush of cultures that ultimately, but it seems so segmented. Like, Mexicans definitely have a culture, but like everybody just kind of like, specifically around food, I guess. But it's tacos and tortillas and getting together and drinking a lot of beer. It's very similar, I guess, to white culture,
But I bet like other countries know what like the American genre, or like, like how we have an outlook of these different places and their cultures. I'm sure there's like, the American culture.
Capitalism.
Right.
Making money.
Yeah.
Non-stop work,
like in all caps. Yes.
And oddly enough, I think from what I've seen or what I've heard is they think that all Americans are rich. Like, everybody if you're from America, then you got money. Like, if you go down to Mexico, like, in comparison, sure.
Yeah.
Unless I guess you go talk to like the oil guys, like the stands, those guys realize
Dubai.
that. Those guys know that. Well, not all Americans do, because they probably have a lot of investments here, so they're here often enough. But for people that are uneducated, or not traveled, they perceive Americans to just all be the most wealthy people.
Right. I also think
it's weird
that it's like Americans are dumb.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like there's so many, because I follow
Agreed.
so many like Japanese accounts on mine, so like things will pop up and they're just like, yeah, like why do you guys pay so much for healthcare and all of these things? Like,
because people want to put fucking ice cream on a fucking chicken sandwich and deep fry it, and like they get free healthcare, and you know
everybody else that has to
everybody
pay
else
for
got to
it.
subsidize that.
Yeah. We pay because other people decide to make bad decisions.
Because they're irresponsible. Yep. It's pretty neat. Probably my favorite thing about American. That's where I've been at like the last couple of weeks. I'm like, I just need to be king of this country just so I can be like, you know what? If you want anything from the government, we're gonna subtract rights away from you as in order for you to receive money from us. Like if you want food stamps, well, guess what? Now we are going to send the food to you. You no longer get to shop. You're just gonna get what we give you, right? It's because we're gonna prevent you from now becoming obese and then needing Medicaid, and then we got to pay for your fucking heart and your diabetes medication and all this shit. Like there's got to be a give and take, because people are too dumb and too irresponsible to just be given shit, because they're just going to take advantage of it, and then you're going to have to give them more shit, right? That's where the whole thing with like socialism and like, oh, let's give everybody everything because you know they'll be irresponsible. No, they won't.
People want freedoms that they aren't disciplined enough to maintain.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a good way of putting it.
I mean, I definitely fit in that world sometimes, for sure. Like I want to be in a specific situation and the freedoms that come along with that, but am I the best person suited for that, or do I need help? I probably need some help. And so how do I find that help? Sometimes it's a government entity, sometimes it's friends, sometimes it's, you know, it can be all sorts of different variations of that. But yeah, I do like that line. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you should write that down.
Yeah.
Mark that. Mark
that. There you go. Hey, Bryce, mark it.
Yeah. I mean, like Spider-Man, great power comes with great power comes great responsibility. It's like the same idea. Like having a lot of rights is like, you know, being an American, like you are giving a lot of right, a lot of freedoms, right? But with that freedom, you should also, you know, make good choices. That's what I tell people every time I see them when I leave for the day. I'm like, make good choices, you know, and people aren't making good choices. I think I've talked about this before, but I'm like, what we got to do is sterilize the population. So like what you could do is just give every guy a vasectomy, and they're reversible, but I get to decide who gets reversed, right?
Oh my God.
You know, like you're gonna have to like show me something, like, you know, more you know, how do people get driver's licenses? Some people, like, they do really good on the test, but then they just, like, for the rest of the time, they just fuck around and they're just like, whatever. Or, you know, the person taking the test, the administrator is just like, fuck it. Who cares? You know, give them their fucking driver's license.
I think that's a lot of it.
I think that's a lot of it, but it's like, why is everybody just allowed to come in whoever they want to? And then just like, you're a bad person. You shouldn't be allowed to just fucking procreate. Like,
I would love to find a way that you could actually like mitigate that. And I know that there's like education behind it, but like at the end of the day, sorry, Dahlia's making a lot of noise and I apologize. It'll probably be edited out of the actual audio, but
yeah,
for everybody that doesn't see it, it's going on over in the corner. I wish that there was a way that you could have specific mandates that would allow for, oh, you've had 2 or 3 felonies, and you probably shouldn't be impregnating anybody.
Mm-hmm. It's called fascism, which I'm not. Like, I by no means have ever been like, you know, Hitler had some good ideas. So we could just clip that part out and be like, this guy's pro Hitler. But like, you know, none of it's going to be based on like race or religion or creed or anything. It's just like, how fucking smart are you? And can you make responsible decisions? Okay, well, like your genes should be fucking passed on, but you're fucking 40 and live in your mom's basement. You have fucking Cheeto fingers and you're fucking 100 pounds overweight. Like, no, it's too easy to fucking survive now. It's like, okay, like if we went back to like the basics and like, okay, like, you have to live outside now, and there's fucking wild animals and people fucking with swords and shit. And it's like, would these people be alive? No, they probably wouldn't. it's gotten so easy to survive now. A good percentage of the population is just like useless fucking mouth breathers, which I have to breathe through my mouth, but like, you know the term. It's just like dumb people that produce nothing and contribute nothing to society.
There's a lot of those.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on.
And I don't realize how much it exists. I think we talked about this last time, maybe not. But I assume that most people know the things that I know. If we haven't talked about it on the podcast, I've definitely said that in the past with y'all privately or just at work or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking with one of the guys that works at Self-Made who has some contracts with some of the high schools in town that he does their programming for their kiddos, either directly inside the school or outside of the school at Self-Made. And he was saying like some of the programs that these guys are running are like 5 to 10 squats every single week on week. And it's like, wait, what? Like, what do you mean? Like you don't have any understanding of like how to create a program, and you're like the leading kids and you're supposed to be educating them and preparing them for the right thing, or like they're not even doing in-season training because they're like, oh, well, why would we do in-season training? It's going to be too much stress on the body. And it's like, we've known this for a long time now. Like, yeah. What are you all doing? Like,
right.
This isn't new information. It's wild to me. It's frustrating.
Right. And these people have been hired. They were vetted. Like somebody fucking hired them. Right. It's
yeah.
like, yeah, just a lack of education, really. Like, just like there's all this information is available. Like all of us have everything available in our pocket. And it's just like, instead of utilizing that, you're just like, well, somebody else will figure it out.
And then that bystander effect, right? Somebody will figure it out. And then nobody figures it out.
Yeah.
Right.
It's kind of sad.
It is very sad.
How do we fix
it? People smarter than us are going to have to figure that out. Yeah, I've already put my thing out there. Is like, you just, like Bill Burr's fucking joke. You like 80% of you got to go. I'm sorry. You know, like there's not enough, that we don't have enough resources. You got to go. It's like there's a test underneath your shirt. If you didn't bring a pin, you're already out. Unprepared.
Oh my God.
That's good. That's good. I like that.
But I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. Just like we need like another, like COVID was supposed to be the plague. I was like, you know, when there's just so many dumb people, I was like, I thought COVID was supposed to kill you people. Like what? The Chinese didn't do a good enough job.
They did not. Or American and Chinese.
Didn't do a good
enough. Whatever this virus that they invented didn't serve its purpose.
It was. I really anticipated it being the thing that like really wipes out a significant portion of the population.
I mean, they made it out like it was going to be a black plague, kind of. Like, yeah.
And I think saying that out loud when I was working at the country club, people were like, "What? Like, you really believe this?" And I'm like, "No, no. What are you talking about? Like, this is great." And then like, I forget, and I'm definitely not going to get the percentages correctly, but the percentage of COVID deaths were significantly lower than like the flu, right? And even then, the deaths coming from COVID, a lot of them, even though were being reported as COVID deaths, they were like, I was in a car accident and then had COVID, died from COVID,
right?
Yeah. And so like those numbers are already inflated.
Yeah.
Like it really wasn't that impactful of like it was impactful on the economy and how people like are interacting with each other. That it affected that for sure. Yeah. But like how many deaths happened? Like seems like another sickness. But how much damage is this vaccine going to do? And we won't know for another very long time.
Yeah, not for a while. She's just doing hood rat shit.
She's constantly doing hood rat shit.
Excuse me, Missy.
She'll try to climb.
I mean, at least they like entertain themselves, you know? Like,
they do.
Dogs really just need your attention all the fucking time.
All the time.
Yeah.
I do like her, and she'll chill out at some point.
Yeah.
It's much more.
She's just investigating. She's seeing what's going on.
She's investigated multiple times.
She's like, but what does this do? Can I
forgot
climb on this?
Let me try again. Right? Like I put something on the counter the other day and just immediately, like not even a fucking second, I think it was my ring, put it down and then just like whack. I was like, I just set it down. What the
This
fuck?
is anything they can fuck with, they're going to fuck with it.
Yeah. How's stem cell going?
Pretty good. I'm not really sure. You know, like I feel like first off, like, is I don't feel like I've lost that much strength. I feel like my arm, like, I don't know if it's just because it's been time or I've been rehabbing the injury so long, both my neck and my shoulder. It's like, okay, like movements that gave me problems before are not so problematic. And it's like, it doesn't really hurt that much. And I don't know if I feel as much like looseness, you know, like yesterday was the first day that I kind of like tested it out. Like I've been pretty good about like not doing too much, you know, like even doing box jumps, I was a little bit leery. I was like, as much as I'm like driving my arms, I'm going to fuck something up. Right. Which I'm like, okay, maybe you're just being crazy, but I'm like, I don't know. Like, you know, they didn't really tell me too much. They're just like, don't lift heavy weights. I'm like, okay, well, like, can I stretch? They're like, yeah. But I'm like, well, yeah, but like, how much can I stretch? Can I like, you know, how much do I want to like test out the range of motion here? And they didn't like, there's been no really post follow-up, you know, of like, hey, you should do this now. Like, or how are you doing? You know, just in general.
Interesting.
So I don't know if it was because I got like a deal, like a discount. I got like the cheap version of it that they're just like, all right, we kind of gave you some instructions, so figure it out.
Maybe that's not necessarily cheap.
Yeah, 2,500, but I'm guessing like it's normally way more than that. I'm guessing I got at least like.
I'm pretty sure they said it was like 6 to 10 grand.
Yeah,
normally.
so like I got a pretty good discount off of it, right? So I think they're just kind of like, like if you fuck up, that's on you, and just come back later and we'll take.
I don't think so
take some more
because
money.
they made it seem like they haven't figured out a process necessarily, right?
It's
like
pretty new.
Really, really new.
Yeah.
So if I were you, I would reach out to them.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, because they just said don't lift heavy, and they said not to overdo it, which.
Like, what does that even mean?
I'm constantly
if you
gonna
ever
flirt with
watch
that.
Walker work out, I mean, I'm proud of him. He's doing really good at not lifting heavy weights. I mean, except for the last, what did you do? You did heavy deadlifts and heavy zerchers.
So yesterday I was like, okay, it's been a little while. I'm gonna like kind of
a little while.
I'm gonna kind of test the waters and see. Like, it's been over a month. It's been 5-ish weeks, I think. 5 weeks, 6 weeks, maybe
3 months.
3 months. They said 3 months to get the maximal effect. They were like, after 1 week, you can start doing band stuff. After 2 weeks, you can start doing more. Like, it's like you can do more as time goes by. But they said to get the maximum effect, it's going to take 3 months. But in my head, I'm like, well, I don't want my muscles to atrophy. I also need to keep my other ligaments and joints strong. So it's like I still need to be doing something. I just need to be mindful of like, don't tear your labrum, don't tear your rotator cuff, right? So yesterday I was like, all right, like I was waiting for her mom to come in for her session. I was like, let me like just fuck around a little bit. All I've really been doing for weights wise is like I started doing some push-ups, feet elevated on a box, hands on a Bosu ball for stability purposes. I'm like, that was the first thing that I started doing as far as like body weight goes. But yesterday I was like, all right, I'm going to do some heavy zercher squats. I got a 325. I did a triple. I paired that with pull-ups. I only did 3 sets of 5. I was like, all right, I'm going to just like do these very controlled, like not like jump up there aggressively, not come down aggressively, like just, you know, see how I'm feeling. I still feel like this muscle being gone is an issue, the brachioradialis or whatever.
It's like so atrophied.
It's just, it's gone. It's gone.
Gone.
It's just gone. Like this one is pretty developed. This one, there's nothing. But, yeah, so I did zercher squats and pull-ups, and then I paired deadlifts with kettlebell press. I did the 16 kilogram. I did that for 3 sets of 8 reps. And I've also been doing some low incline single arm bench press. I did like, last time I did 50 for sets of 8. And it feels pretty good. Like it feels stable. Yeah, it's a little heavy.
50 pounds?
Yeah, it's probably a little heavier than
it's on his opposite arm though.
Oh.
Well, I did it on this arm too.
Oh my God.
But like I think I started
please?
I started with like light. I started lighter weight. This is like the last week that I did it. Like I've been like working my way up.
What was the way that you started with?
$2,500 down the drain.
Started with like 25 maybe, and then kind of worked up just based on how it like felt. But yeah, I know like pressing is like the main thing. So I'm like mindful if there's any pain or like, you know, does it feel like anything's awry?
And does it?
No, not really. I mean, it's like
very skeptical. No,
felt like it was harder than it would normally be, but it's like I haven't lifted weights for 5 weeks, so.
But no pain.
No pain. No. You know, a little bit of instability, but I was like, it's probably just like I haven't been using my shoulder stabilizers much. But yeah, overall it felt good. And then, yeah, I mean, it's been like, it's interesting. I mean, I've been doing BPC 157. I've been doing like a nasal spray with in conjunction. Like I started doing that before I did the stem cells. So I'm like, hopefully this is like helping, and you know, but like, I feel like, I mean, it's been good. I'm just like, okay, like, you know, my shoulder's a little sore, but I'm like, I haven't really been using it, and now I'm using it. So it's like, is it soreness or is it like pain? Is something still wrong? Like, I don't know.
I think you know pain for what pain is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And it's I feel like it's sore. It's like sore. But I've been using it more than I was. Like I pretty much went from like doing not much anything with my arm to like slowly doing more stuff.
I wonder what they meant by like full effect in 3 months. Like, are you at full performance in 3 months, or you get the full effect of the benefits like, within 3 months?
Right. Like the stem cells are finally done doing the stem cell things.
I don't think it's done. I think they were saying by 3 months, like
you should notice 100% recovery.
Not 100%.
If you're going to have 100% recovery.
If I were you, I would go back just so they can do an ultrasound and see what the heck is going on.
That's kind of
I would love to see one.
Yeah.
Like after 3 months, I'm like, do I just get another MRI? And then they're like, oh, well, it's still torn. And then be like, oh, well, okay.
But let's say it's still torn. Is there improved performance versus
before the injury? I feel like I was still able to lift pretty heavy even despite having it. Yeah. And it's like the things I wasn't really able to do. I wasn't as able to do as many pull-ups. I was still doing pull-ups, but it's just like, I didn't like when like I went to grab somebody and like pull their leg. Like I didn't feel like I could pull. But it's like, I don't know if it's my shoulder or if it's like the muscles that are affected by my neck too. So I'm like, well, let's fix the shoulder and find out if I can fix the neck with the stem cells. I didn't really get it. I don't think I got an answer from them on that. The first doctor I saw for stem cells was like, we'll do your shoulder for $7,500, but I don't think it's going to help with your neck. So we're not going to even touch your neck. I'm like, oh, okay. But like, I'm also not going to pay you that much money for just my shoulder. But,
and then the second doctor you went to?
The second doctor, they were like, well, my buddy was one that was like, let's just like do your shoulder and see if it helps your shoulder, then maybe we can try the neck and see if it maybe helps that. But he like the way he was explaining to me on the phone, he was like questioning his other friend that was like telling me, oh yeah, we can like do it in your neck and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, well, how is that going to help exactly? He seemed very leery about the fact that like, you know, he's got compressed discs. The stem cells aren't going to like regrow his disc, or is like, you know, that's not there. If there's a space issue,
right. Yeah,
right. You can't create more space by putting stem cells in there. Right. Yeah. So to me, I'm like, okay, well that makes sense. And like, you know, like, this shoulder is like a little jacked up too. Like certain things are kind of hard. And I'm like, oh, maybe I got like tendinosis or tears in that too. But I'm like, it's not so bad that I can't do things. Like I was able to bench before I hurt myself, like 265, I think. So I was like, it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. I'm like, I haven't tried to bench press for a while since I hurt my neck. So, yeah, I mean, it's interesting. And like they said, it's a new thing. So it's like, they don't know what they don't know. So they don't really know to tell you like, okay, at this point you can do this. At this point you can do that. At this point you can do this. But,
I wish that there was more of a prescription, I guess is what I'm looking for. Something that's a little more definitive.
Right.
Like, all right, at 3 weeks, you start adding bands.
Yeah.
At 5 weeks, you can start adding light weights.
Yeah. I just think it's too recent for that. I think it like maybe like in 10 years, they'll kind of have that.
Yeah.
But it's like, I feel like they're probably not doing I mean, they're probably doing research, but it's like, you would have to like inject somebody with the stem cells and then like do an ultrasound every week and then like have them like different groups like do different things of like, okay, this person did so much after this much time, you know, and then like test it and be like, okay, they didn't notice as much recovery as this person did who did this much, you know. So I think we're still a ways away from that probably.
I would assume that it would be a hard thing to get approved by what is the governing body? Oh man, it's been so long. Whatever the governing,
not the FDA.
No, it's a governing body that oversees like tier 1 universities for research.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember.
Put your name into that. Be like, I'll be your control group.
If there's somebody here at UNLV that's like doing that kind of research, then it'd be a great like sample study. But it would be like the design of the study would be almost like unethical if I know, or maybe because I guess the best part about it is that they don't know, right? So if I have two different groups and I know that maybe this person is going to get this certain RX of prescription of oh my god,
Stem cell?
not stem cell, but like maybe even you can even go down to the stem cell world, but not the stem cells, but the recovery period, cycle, prescription. Like we're gonna follow 3-week cycles at this pace or whatever, and this other person's gonna do every 5 weeks, right? That's their prescription, and you can see how their progression or what their programming or periodization looks like. I guess the difference between the two. Right. I guess that, but I wonder if that would be considered unethical because he was like, well, we anticipated this. Like you have to have a hypothesis of which one's going to be better.
Right.
So then that means you're choosing somebody else to have the worst option, and you're dealing with people. So it's kind of, and it makes it more difficult.
Well, I would say like a slower recovery, maybe not so much like, hey, you're gonna fucking suck.
Yeah. All those people are gonna sign up for. They're gonna sign something to say like, I want to be part of the study. So.
Yeah.
You have a control group and a whatever the not control group is.
Test group. Yeah.
Test group.
Your dependent variable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like I guess you'd be like, this group is going to get the stem cells and do nothing for 3 months. Or, you'd have to divide it into a lot of different groups because it's like who is gonna I would think the best would be as some mix of like they get the stem cells and then they start doing like aggressive rehab, not so aggressive, and no rehab, right? It would have to be like 3 groups, right? I would say aggressive rehab is probably what I have been doing, or, beyond aggressive rehab, like probably too much. Oh my God. But,
I think that there's some value to be on aggressive rehab, and the only reason I say that is out of my surgery on my shoulder, within like 2 months I was benching like 405.
Jesus.
And it was like probably to the to an extreme extent, but now my left shoulder is infinitely better than my right. Like even to this day, even it has better range of motion. I ultimately operate better. I have a little bit like neuropathy inside my 2 left fingers here, but that would be considered aggressive, and I didn't see any decline in performance. So I don't know. I like aggressive rehabs, depending on the age of the athlete. I think that's probably my biggest dependent variable. It's like, is my athlete going to be a younger athlete? I would still consider you to be younger. Younger-ish. Yeah. If my athlete is like in their 50s and 60s, and this aggressive rehab is probably just going to injure them even if they were just not rehabbing. Right. Probably not the best idea for them, but it is kind of cool. I want to see how research and like how training around stem cells goes, because I've never worked with anybody that's ever had stem cells.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool. Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Yeah, you could definitely do like next weekend or whenever you have time, we could do some kind of like analysis of like how you feel my rotator cuff strength is and stuff. That
would be
but yeah, I feel pretty all right, and it doesn't feel worse. So it's like that's just so it's hard for me mentally to be like, don't do anything. I'm like, what is anything? What does that mean? That encompasses everything? Like,
don't pick up a glass of water.
Right.
Like, what does this mean?
I was like, should I not brush my teeth with that hand? Like, I'm left hand dominant anyways, but I'm like, I do like to sometimes try to write with my right hand, sometimes brush my teeth with my right hand. One thing I have not done is like eat with my right hand, but I don't want to like spill waste food. But like I do like I have these random phases where I'm like, I'm just gonna write everything with my right hand and just see how that goes. I can write pretty decent with my right hand, but I have to like slowly do it and be mindful about it. Whereas my left hand, I'm just gonna write.
That's the
handwriting sucks either way. But,
apparently it's like I just saw, I don't know, probably a post, or I read an article, probably saw a post that was talking about using your non-dominant hand for small things like brushing your teeth in the morning. That helps you like ingrain these new motor pathways, and it's ultimately like good for your brain. And I was like, that's pretty cool. I kind of like that.
That's why I've heard the same thing at some point. Like, I don't know if it was like Rhonda Patrick on Joe Rogan's podcast or something. I was like, I'm going to do that now. Like, you just hear something like,
occasionally.
It's just like, it's not going to hurt. It's probably going to help. It makes sense. Like, why not?
It can't hurt. I heard from a client today. He's like, all of us are born ambidextrous.
Mm-hmm.
All of us are ambidextrous. We're taught at a very early age from school or from our parents that you are right-handed or you are left-handed.
Yep.
Like, well, I should probably have a better control of my left hand. Like this one just doesn't work. Like
Yeah.
it seems
You know
so
what?
fucking wrong.
And the way we think about it, right, as trainers, right, it's like, oh, there's some kind of imbalance there. Like when we're fighters, you're either orthodox or southpaw. Like I've always learned orthodox, and he's like, well, that's why your right ass cheek is bigger than your left, so you probably need to switch it up. And I'm like, good point. So yeah,
It's kind of cool.
makes sense.
Yeah,
It's kind of cool.
it is great. It's very cool. I think the way that fighters like choose a specific stance, because you guys choose your stances and almost like stay with them for a long period of time. I think, right? Like you
Feels
perfect,
more natural. Yeah.
you perfect that stance, and then like, okay, now you have to switch stances. Like, this is a new technique we're gonna add in or whatever. Like that complicates things to like a significant degree. It's like I'm not as strong, I'm not as fast, I don't feel as confident. Like my timing's off. It's just it's interesting.
Similar to switching hands when you're ready.
Yeah.
Same as juggling.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
This way instead of that way.
It just came to my head. I don't know.
Yes, because I fought Arapu one way, and then all the other girls go a different way.
When did you start, and why did you start doing your stuff, your
dance.
hula dancing?
So fun fact, my mom did not want me to start as a kid because she said I was uncoordinated.
Love mom.
Yeah, so
Mom, hi.
Like, let's not do
Hi,
anything
Mom.
to get you coordinated. Let's just let fucking
Yeah.
fuck it. You're just gonna die at a young age because you can't figure shit out.
like, well, fucking pamper yourself.
It's crazy. This does not work on it. You're a lost cause.
You're gonna embarrass me. I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Who's gonna have another kid? Because fuck it.
Maybe this
They're
will come.
coordinated.
You're like, your head's too big. I don't know.
That's literally it. So I in high school, my best friend, she was teaching me a whole bunch of stuff. And that's when I started. And we did a couple of performances, dance performances, and then we were like, oh, let's try out for the talent show, and she taught me something. And my mom, right, she was like, I have to go to your audition because you were uncoordinated as a kid, so I just want to make sure you're not going to make a fool out of yourself on stage. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, this Beezy, like, are you for real, bro? Like, you're going to show up to my audition? Like, you're not allowed in the room anyways. You know what I mean? Like, there's all these different judges, and then they pass you whether you're good enough for the talent show. And so we auditioned, and my mom's outside. I can see her, and we got in. We passed. She's just crying. And I was like, what the fuck?
You good?
Yeah. And she was like, you're coordinated. And I was like, bro.
Wow.
It was insane. Like,
Wow.
insane. So kind of self-taught, and then just
Weird.
my friend teaching me, and then stopped for a long time. And then someone from the gym was like, hey, I used to dance. You want to come with me? And I'm like, sure. So that started up again 2 years ago.
Nice.
I know.
It's kind of fun.
Lots of fun.
Where do you dance with, or like?
The halau. It's called Tavakanui. I know.
She just says Hawaiian words like we're supposed to know what.
That was.
Halau is it's like a dance
Sorry.
group. It's like a group of dancing that they do, a hula group.
Yeah, halau is like a
Oh.
group, like a school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what was the other part?
Tavakanui is the name of the halau.
What?
Tavakanui.
Tavakanui.
Okay, but I thought halal was the group.
Halau means
Halau is
like
a school. Tavakanui specifically is the school
Yeah.
she goes to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's,
Somebody else got that.
yeah.
And watched me like fucking figure it
Yeah,
out.
like
Like,
this
oh, these
uncultured
uncultured
fuck.
swines.
We are the
I
ninth
get it. That's
island.
what I mean. I'm like, oh, this
We
is
are
cool.
the
This is
ninth
neat. I don't understand what this is.
I was
This is
actually
new.
explaining to him what my middle name means.
What's your middle name?
So my middle name is Ku'ulelehua.
And then before you describe it, I want him to describe it first.
Okay, go ahead.
What does it mean?
So, to my understanding, Ku'ulelehua,
Say that 10 times fast.
Ku'u means mine. right?
You're gonna go after. We're gonna correct him.
Lei is the lei. You know, they put the lei around you, the flower ring, right?
Okay.
The necklace of flowers. Necklace of flowers. That's a very white way to explain it.
How do you say it? Like, how did you describe? Either way.
Lehua is a specific flower indigenous to the Hawaiian Islands. It's not the state flower of the Big Island, or it's not the flower of the Big Island because they're not separate states, but it's a flower. So it's like the name Kulelehua means like my flower, like she's her mother's flower, right?
Okay.
That's my understanding, and it's been explained to me several times. This isn't like she just explained it to me just now. Like I've heard it a couple of times, and I'm like, I get it. Like it makes sense. Like,
cool.
Yeah.
What did you do? How did you do?
He did really good.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So I
pretty
mean,
smart. I get it.
That was it.
It's cool. It's
like,
cool.
Why?
Sometimes she like over explains. I'm like, no, I got it. I got it like 5 minutes ago. You can stop. We can
like,
move on.
Tizzy has been working.
Yeah.
Rolling.
I'm ready to move on now. Let's not talk about that anymore. But yeah, no, it's cool, and I like their language is cool. But yeah, she just like will say stuff, and I'm like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what you're talking about. Like you got to slow it down a little bit.
It's funny. I'll do
it's
that
very fast.
in like Hawaiian words or even like Japanese words, and he'll be like, "What?"
She's always kept correcting my Japanese or my like pronunciation. She's like, "No, it's le, not lay." I'm like, "Got it. That's a very subtle difference."
I'm like,
But
"They're
I
two different
understand.
things."
It's like they're two different words. I'm like, well, the heck, all right.
I like looking. There's one guy that I follow who like will show you an individual symbol or letter or
Kanji? Like you're talking about Japanese?
Yeah. What do you call an individual character?
Kanji.
An individual character is kanji?
Yeah. So
Very
there's
cool.
actually in Japanese, there's 3 different vocabulary, I guess. So there's hiragana, katakana, and kanji. Kanji is what most people understand. So not understand, but that's the characters that are mostly used. They're basically Chinese. They derive from China.
Okay.
But he just got a tattoo today. It says Gambaru, which means go ahead, babe.
I'm guessing like this is gan, this is ba, and this is ru. You're not supposed to pronounce the R. They don't pronounce
You
the
don't
R's,
pronounce
apparently.
R's?
So,
You don't say ru, you would say ru.
Yeah,
Ru.
it's interesting because they have
Ru.
the R in their like vocab or their alphabet, but it's not pronounced like a traditional R, like r. It's like in between like an L and a D.
I said like you roll it like in Spanish 2 R's, you go like like churro.
Churro.
I always say churro, and people make fun of me when I say churro instead of churro. I'm like, well, there's 2 R's.
Yeah.
I learned this in high school Spanish. You're supposed to roll it, okay? Stop disrespecting the Spanish language.
I think they're just like this gringo. Like, what's happening?
Fucking white man mansplaining fucking.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But
Should
yeah,
call it white splaining. Gonna create a new term.
White splaining?
White splaining.
That's a real one.
Ooh,
That's a real one.
I like that.
You're like, explain to people Hawaiian culture.
No, you don't understand.
You don't get it. You don't
You
get
don't
it.
understand. Let me tell you something about Hawaiian culture, all right?
I went to Hawaii once. Let me tell you.
It's a very Trump thing to do. I've been to Hawaii. I love Hawaiians. Great rice in Hawaii.
Great. It is good.
He always does that with everything. He's like, I love Mexicans.
He did do that in
It's like,
actual
thank you for
interview.
specifying that you care about the Mexican people. It's great. It's like, I think he posted like a photo of like, we have the best taco salads at Trump Towers. I love Mexicans. Thanks, Donald. Thanks for that.
Thanks, Donald.
That is definitely.
That's our president right there. Or was our president.
And possibly
He was doing better than Biden because Biden can't even fucking function like full sentences.
Yeah, he was doing, unfortunately, like the just purely out of communication.
It's
Infinitely
like
better.
You're right.
it goes like Biden's here at the lowest, then like George W. Bush, then Trump, and then like Bill Clinton and Obama. Like
those guys can speak very well. But there's something so entertaining about Trump that I kind of want to put him higher than that at times. Man, this guy really fucking says this shit.
He's gonna say some wild shit. Let's stay tuned,
fuck.
right?
No filter.
He's like, you're just nobody. You're nobody. What was the one Clay? He's like, you're a lightweight. And I was like, lightweight.
No way.
Lightweight, baby.
I did not see that.
Yeah, that one goes around a lot. He's like, don't talk to me like that. You're just a lightweight. He's talking to a reporter. You're just like, he's just openly disrespecting this person in front of everybody. He's like, don't even fucking step to me with that shit. You're nobody. You're no one. You don't even deserve to clean my shoes.
That is wild.
Like I would love 4 more years of that. Honestly, just like him just shitting on people. Like it didn't work with Biden just because Biden just like, come on, man. Like what are you talking about? I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah. It's almost embarrassing to talk shit about the way he talks. Like, yes, it's bad. Everybody recognizes it's bad. If anything, it's no longer bad. It's just sad.
Yeah.
Like, it's not okay.
He's mentally depleted. Yeah, it's gone. Like,
and he's running again.
Right.
And I hate seeing the ads on like YouTube.
Really?
Yeah, like he's definitely like going really hard with it. Like, I think Joe Rose. This is where I've heard this, but like. His parents or like his family or his parents is like his kids, right?
The ghost of his parents is like, you are dishonoring the family. Please stop this.
What you're doing. I was like, his parents are still fucking
Come back. You're going to be visited by 3 ghosts. You should make that movie like a Christmas Tale with Joe Biden.
No.
That'd be some shit.
Yeah,
that'd be good. That'd be a good
Fuck.
sketch comedy,
Yeah.
you know? Fuck yeah, that'd be good. Damn. Sell it. Somebody.
We
Do it.
digress
Somebody.
so much. I don't even know what we were fucking talking about anymore.
We were actually talking about the characters on your wrist.
Okay, yeah, we were talking about kanji.
Oh, yeah, that's
Jesus
kanji.
Christ.
So kanji. This is kanji.
Oh, we were talking about something before that. But either way, continue.
Yeah. What does it mean?
This is where it came from, yeah.
Oh yeah, so my tattoo, gambaru. Yes. Okay, approval from
I'll take
the Asian person.
Lululemon.
Lululemon. This joke is so stupid. But do you know? I told this joke too much. It's like, do you know what they call Netflix in Japan?
What?
Netflix. Oh, like once in a while I'll really get people that be like, oh, what? Like I'm gonna teach them some fucking cool shit, and then I just don't pronounce the L right, and they're like, I see what you did there.
I feel lied to.
Well, like that's kind of offensive. I don't know how to feel about that.
That's good.
But yeah, it means well, the Instagram post I saw that motivated me to get this tattoo. That's where I'm at in my life. It said like stand firm, and I was like, I'm very much like a don't back down, don't be soft, don't fucking half-ass anything. Like, do your best. Like that's what it's supposed to mean. Of like you cheer, like that's what they do in Japan. They say gambaru if they're like cheering somebody on. Like, do your best, try your best, try your hardest. Like
That's cool.
So I'm like, yeah, just remind yourself, like do your best. Like even if you're feeling shitty that day, like just do the best you can do, and that's going to be better than 99% of people, right? Because most people just don't even show up, or they're just like, I don't feel good, let me just not do it today. But
You didn't show up today?
I showed up to work. I didn't work out.
I didn't work out either. Yeah.
So yeah, my thing's always been like, at least, I don't know, at some point a switch flipped in my head as like, it doesn't, irregardless of how I feel, it's like David Goggins, fucking Cameron Haynes bullshit of like, irregardless of how you feel, you're going to work out. Could be a shitty workout, doesn't matter, you still worked out, right? Still got something done, right? So
that was me yesterday. I definitely didn't want to go to the gym. I was laying down right there, fucking just scrolling on Instagram, and I was like, man, I don't want to go, but I guess let me just get my ass up and I'll go. And I showed up and had a really nice like deadlift day. I was like, okay, like, I feel pretty good. And like
pulled 585, right?
Yeah,
it's very good.
It looks smooth as shit.
Honestly, I'm thank
butter.
you. It was like, this is actually really like, it moved really well. 545 right before that, and also like moved very well. I was like, I haven't sumo deadlifted in like months.
What's your best sumo deadlift?
749.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
7
That's fucking
yeah,
impressive. That's a lot of
749.
weight.
Yeah.
What about conventional? You probably could just pull sumo
during competition. I was only pulling that. I think my highlight was definitely like 555 triples, like 5 sets of triples on like a 3-inch deficit.
Oh damn!
What?
That was like
really impressive.
And that's
that
conventional?
was fucking cool. Yeah, I remember that day very vividly, and I was like, that was fucking cool.
Yeah.
But I think I did a beltless meet. I just trained beltless for like 2 months, and I was like, well, I'm already close enough to the meet, and I'll just do a beltless. I think I pulled 606.
Nice.
So not bad.
That's
for
really
a
good.
beltless pull. Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, not bad.
I got up to like 535 on hex bar, and I popped my back doing that. So I was like, well, that's apparently the bar for when I. And now I know where it's below that, and then after that, I should put on a belt.
Good idea. Belts are good. Belts are good. I mean, 535 is definitely like, I think anything after 495, you should, at least for a dude, like you should definitely belt up. For a lady, I feel like anything after 315, like you definitely should have a belt on. Yeah.
It's kind of where I'm at. Like I just established, I'm like, okay, anything over 400 for a squat, anything over 500 for deads, definitely belt.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I did 405 for a triple, and like it was super easy, conventional, and I was just like, oh, that felt really good. Normally I'd be like, all right, just fucking keep going, just see how many reps you can do. But I was just like, I'm injured, like I'm rehabbing, like I did 3, be happy with 3.
It's good.
It's okay.
It's a good way to
that's my way of like not overdoing it.
Having like having that internal like barometer, I think is so hard to develop. Like it really is fucking difficult. Like, am I feeling bad, but I really should go, or am I feeling good, but I really should stop? Those are fucking hard things to learn. It's hard.
Oh, I also want you to take a look at one of my abs later, because doing that 48-inch box jump, like one specific ab has been very sore, and then instead of just like not doing box jumps for a while, I've been still doing them, just like not as high, and it's still it gets really sore. Yeah, I figured out I can do 42 inches just from standing, like without any like second bounce. 48 inches, I need to like bounce into it. Like I need to do like a hop first to get into it. I don't know why, but yeah, I figured out 42 inches. I can just from standing, I can just go down and go up.
A counter movement jump is what it's called. Yeah, CMJ. Damn, that's fucking.
It's pretty good. It's not bad. Like I'm surprised that my hips have that range of motion still.
It's really quite good, to be honest with you. I wonder, like putting you on like some, what are they called? Some force plates. What you would
kind of generate? Yeah. I don't feel like my vertical is very good. Like I don't think I could touch a rim on a basketball hoop, but I don't know. I might be able to. Maybe I should try, but not right now. My ab hurts really. Like specifically, this one is just very like tight, and just like when I lay down and sit up, I'm like, that hurts. Like right now, just like poking it, I'm like, that's very painful.
Do you feel like anything's going back inside of your body?
I don't think it's like a hernia or anything like that. So that's what I'm not worried about. I was feeling like I had a hernia like down here the other day, but that kind of went away. So
it's good.
Yeah, I just got to be careful, like not be crazy about it. Been doing a lot of ladder stuff too, like footwork drills. I don't feel like quite athletic, like my footwork, and I feel like my speed has gotten better.
It's a good one to, I think, even as we get older, continue to add that one in. Like, have clients that are like 50, 60 years old. I used to have like a set, like a large, like a, not a large set, but like a class of clients that were like 65 plus, probably like 70s-ish. And adding that in is just so important to like prevention of Alzheimer's, if I'm going to think about it even earlier on than that. But like, it's just good for the brain to like solve a new puzzle and then get good at it. And then also like if I'm going to fall or if I'm not going to fall, like the longevity of that tool I think is super cool. I think there's obviously a performance aspect to it, but I think like this is something that I should probably maintain in my training for the rest of my life, whether I'm fighting or whether I'm hanging out at the house. Like all of this is good long term.
I think proprioception is something that just gets overlooked in general, like with training, and it's like that's so important.
It is.
And it's just like
change of direction.
Yeah.
Proprioception.
You're just big. Your body in space is like how you move and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, like just the ladder, like the coordination of it, and like being able to like in your head be like 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3, or like 1 2 3 4. Just being able to change your direction. Like I haven't really had. I've had surgery on this knee to have the meniscus repaired. They didn't take it out; they repaired it, and then I've like had no problems with my knees at all. Really, I feel like my knees are very strong. And I just attribute that for like doing a bunch of different stuff, like making sure my glutes are good, making sure my hips are good, but also like doing a lot of sprinting, doing a lot of lateral movements. Like I do a slide board every so often. Somebody, so the other day I had it out and some guy was watching me do it. And I was like, I don't like the way the guy's looking at me because I feel like he did exactly what I predicted he was going to do. I grabbed the plates that were like holding the sideboard in place, went to go put them away. By the time I'm back, he's like grabbing the boots, putting them on, and he's about to do it. I'm like, hey man, that's mine. And he's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I'm like, I thought it was the gym's. And I'm like, well, okay, fair enough. I'm like, it's fine. And he was just like, I'm so sorry. And like, then he like went and like sat at like the table over by the front desk and like put himself on timeout or something. I'm like, this guy's like, fucking murder. You didn't even have to apologize the second time. Yeah. I get it. Like you didn't know, you're forgiven. I'm not mad. I approached him in a way that like, I just looked scary. I don't know. But I was just like, all I said was like, hey man, that's mine. Like I would prefer you not use it.
Yeah.
And that was the end of it. But I was like, fuck. I feel like I did something wrong.
I think people can very easily get emotional, right? Like, especially if you're very direct, like it comes off very abrasive.
Sure.
And so people are just like, oh, fuck, he's going to like, especially like if I look through your ears and if I'm at least moderately educated, I'm like, okay, like, I'm so sorry, dude. Like, how on edge are you?
Please don't hit me.
Are you one of those guys?
Hit you, bro. Like, I didn't fucking come at you like, oi, mate, that's my fucking sideboard.
Oh my god!
There used to be a South Park. It was a South Park episode where they're like Russell Crowe fighting the fuck. It was like making movies, making songs, and fighting around the world. It was just Russell Crowe going around, and be like, oi. Fucking like, oh my god, it's Russell Crowe. What the fuck? Yeah, like you're just fighting people. It's like I really heard they like fighting around here. I think it was around the time that Russell Crowe was like getting in trouble for punching people in public or some shit.
Yeah,
but yeah,
it aligns.
Like, and today it happened again because I was using the ladder. Like, I was like took a rest, like walked up and down, and like some fucking donkey is my new favorite word to use to describe people that are just unaware of what's going on. Just like decided to sit and stretch like right next to the ladder. I'm like, bro, I'm using the ladder. And he's like, I'm sorry. I'm like, I'm using the ladder and I would prefer not to step on you or hit you. So if you could move, I'd appreciate it. And he was like, oh, sorry. I was like, thank you.
Like it's clean enough. It's direct, but it's kind enough that there's like I don't want to hurt you by stepping. Like you're like it's a good way to say you're in my fucking way.
You're in my way. You could do what you're doing anywhere else besides this area.
Yeah. Besides
like, these 10 yards.
Right.
Right? Use the 10 yards over there.
Yeah. I hate that setup though. I really do.
It's really not great.
So much.
Yeah. Well, we ran into a problem because like I was using the ladder the other day. One of the other trainers was having his clients he does ATG stuff. So his client was like dragging the sled, pushing the sled. And again, donkey just fucking decided to like put a box right next to the rig where all the hit stuff is and the ladder. And he's doing like 24-inch step-ups on the box. And like the guy, it wasn't even the trainer, it was his client was like, hey man, like, do you mind? Like, I'm doing the sled. I don't know if you'd mind. Like, and he was like, well, that guy is in the middle of the turf. And he was like, yeah, but he's actually like doing something. He's using the ladder on the turf. That isn't. It's there. Like you can't move. You can't pick it up and move the turf. Like I was like, what you're doing, you could take that box outside. You could take it fucking in the bathroom and do step ups if you wanted to. Really, like you don't have to be on the turf.
The
yeah. So like that guy, I was just like, I don't like this guy's gotten in my way a couple times already, and I like I've just been like, let me just avoid him. But I was like genuinely like while he was doing his sets, I was doing my sets, and I'm like, I hope that I'm distracting you, and I'm hoping you're losing count, and I'm hoping you're angry, and I'm hoping you're upset that I'm here because like I want you to say something so that I can point out to you, be like, that box, I can just fucking kick the box. I'll just fucking kick the box. I'll kick it out of the way. I'll move it. Just be like, go do your step ups elsewhere. I'm going to fuck you up and I'll lose my job. I don't care. At the end of the day, like if it teaches you a lesson, I'll fucking, yeah, it's fine. You know, just like,
some people just need that.
Kick you in the knee and then you get to limp around for the rest of your life. And now you can no longer do any step ups anywhere. How about that? But yeah, I mean, those are just the thoughts that run through my head sometimes. I'm like, I could just fucking murder you right now. And
I think he needs therapy.
This is therapy.
This is my therapy. Just getting it out there and just being honestly. Like, yeah, these are the thoughts I have sometimes.
Yeah.
That's like, you know, I'm lucky. I don't have road rage ever. I'm just like kind of like, oh, that person's a fucking idiot. Like get the fuck out of the road.
Yeah.
But you know,
I definitely have like road rage. Does he have road rage?
Him?
Yeah.
She's always driving.
I'm always driving, so I don't get to see him. Like, I'll say shit in the car, and he'll be like, "Yeah, I hope you die.
I hope you get fucking cancer. I hope your whole family dies."
I'll be like, "Look at this fucking idiot."
I just like to
and
gas
he'll be
her up.
like,
I'm like, yeah. Fuck that guy.
It just hypes me up, and I just start laughing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fucking idiots driving around.
Man.
There's a lot of fucking idiots everywhere.
Oh my God.
But like definitely while driving around. Sometimes I don't understand why there's so much traffic, and then I get to the end of the line of traffic, and then there was nothing happening.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
or like the thing that's happening is so dumb and could have been avoided.
Yeah. Nevares just rubbernecking. They're like, "Well, what's that car doing over on the side of the road?"
Yeah.
I don't know. The car probably stopped working. Might be out of gas. I don't know, but it doesn't. We don't have to stop.
So on my way to Pure Aloha on our first day, I was driving down the 15. My fucking phone told me to take the 15. I never take the 15. Okay. I should have taken the 215 all the way around, but then there was traffic. I was stuck in traffic for like 20 minutes, and I get to the end, and I find out, all the construction that they're doing on the 15, there's a car pulled over on the right side, so he's in the right lane because there's no right shoulder. So he's just stuck in the far right lane.
Nice.
And
I'd get out and push my car until there's a shoulder.
That's what caused all the traffic.
Just one guy thought that's a good place to pull over. Just there's no shoulder there, but I'm gonna just stop.
Yeah,
and inconvenience everybody
but still,
else.
Like everybody else, like there's 3-4 other fucking lanes. Like why are we? Why is this
waiting
happening?
for this one car to move?
One car,
because the everybody else is just like, well, like they'll like just drive up to that car and they'll be like, oh fuck. Now there's a car here. Now like, I'm stopped, but I gotta get over. Yeah. So now that lane's gonna stop. Yeah. Like It'd be like, instead of just like
so
looking ahead of like, there's something going on up there. I should get over now.
I'm pretty sure that is in the fucking booklet. The DMV booklet, it says to fucking look ahead for a certain number of feet.
Nobody read that booklet.
I fucking did. I did.
But even if like didn't read the booklet, like there's a whole, sometimes, not always, I get it, I'm probably not in this situation, but there's signs with arrows that point that direction. Yep. And people are still like driving straight in this fucking lane. And I'm like,
I hate it.
If you would have moved over a long time ago, we wouldn't be in this really weird like who goes first game because you're trying to speed up and I'm not going to let you. So fucking fall behind, but then like someone's gonna get fucked. Like that's how accidents happen. Like you just could have done this a long time ago.
Yeah, 100%.
For any of your listeners that don't know already, PSA: if you see like cones and then there's like a big sign with a blinking arrow, like you just said, blinking arrow that says like get over, just do it. Like do it as soon as possible. Don't be like, let me drive all the way up to it and then now I can get over and just inconvenience everybody else. Like let me just fucking cut in front of everybody else because I'm more important and I'm in a bigger hurry.
Yeah,
everybody's in a hurry. Everybody's important in their own lives. Just just do better.
Yeah, just do better. Yeah. There was one that really is a pet peeve of mine is when people wait to it's another like waiting to the last moment to move into a lane, but you're in the very far right lane. It's an exit lane.
Yeah.
And like this person gets onto the ramp going super fucking slow.
Bro.
And then you're right behind them, and then you're just like, all right, like we're like, hurry the fuck up so I can like cut into the fucking traffic. I'm trying to speed up, but they're going slow. And finally, you find a time to cut in. They're still in the exit lane, and then all of a sudden, at the last fucking moment, right before it's about the ramp's about to close off, and you have a solid white line, they're like, oh yeah, I forgot. Like I gotta get on the other lane.
I finally finished this text I've been sending. Good luck, everybody else.
Like, what the fuck, man? God, that one. I saw that happened to me today. So it fucking frustrates me.
So moment where I'm not in this situation, so I'm going to give the person grace. Maybe they just got off of like a 16-hour shift. Maybe they're half asleep. Maybe they're falling asleep. Maybe they were asleep. Probably not, though. I used to fall asleep when
let's give this person grace. This could be it.
Like, I'm just playing devil's advocate. Probably not the case, but I did
when
I lived in Washington and I trained and worked full time. I would like wake up in the morning, work out, work a 9-hour shift where I was like working in the mailroom. So I was like moving boxes like from building to building, like moving a lot of shit. Pretty physical job, and then I would leave straight from my job as it's like turning dark outside, and it's always dark in fucking Washington. It's a fucking horrible place. But I like on my way to my gym was fucking half an hour at least if there was no traffic. More traffic, yeah. I would fall asleep driving like all the fucking time. And I'd be like, you'd get that high of like, oh fuck, I fell asleep. Like, oh shit, I'm awake now. But it's like, I just gotta hope that like put myself in a situation where there's not a car to the left, not a car to the right, not a car directly in front, and just be like, I'll just rest my eyes for a second and then I'm awake. But yeah, that was like a daily occurrence where I was like, all right, am I gonna die today or no?
That's rough.
Yeah, I should have probably just like fucking had a Celsius or a pre-workout fucking something, you know. But I don't know.
When I was in college, I had a very similar experience as well, where I think it was only like 2-3 days out of the week, but I would have to drive. I didn't have to. I was working at, there's a school in Huntsville, like the University of Texas Huntsville or whatever the fuck, whatever this school was. So it was a D1 university. I would go up there and I would do strength conditioning stuff. So I like volunteered to work with the football team, the soccer team, the track cross country, and I think like a couple other different teams. Volleyball, women's something else, women's soccer. But anyway, this was at a time that I was doing a lot of drugs. So I was taking a lot of Xanax. And so I would like wake up all of a sudden. It was an hour and a half away. I had to be there by 5 a.m.
Fuck.
And I was like barely waking up out of a disgusting
hour and a half away.
Yeah.
So you woke up at like 3.
Woke up at 3 and like get going.
Yeah.
And for the most part, I would get there on time. But on the way back, I hit a rail one day. Like I just like I was driving. If that rail wasn't there, I would have got into the trees and I would have died 100%. Like it was going 50-60 miles an hour down a 2-lane road with a rail right on the side, and I just like happened to it wasn't the very front of it either, which is I got lucky. I just like swerved just enough. I fell asleep and I hit the side of my car hit the thing, and it was like holy fuck. And like thankfully I didn't jerk the other way either because there was traffic coming on. Yeah. And I was like, I can't stop, you know. Like brakes, and I don't fucking care if I miss class. I had class immediately right after, so I'd volunteer for like 2 hours, and then I would have to drive back because I had
any money for this.
No.
He said volunteer.
Okay.
I volunteered.
I missed the volunteer.
But that's how that strength. If you want to get into the strength conditioning world in the collegiate setting, like you volunteer, you clean, you put weights away, like you're fucking overqualified.
It's like your internship.
It's your internship.
Yeah.
But then that one coach you hope is successful enough that they go work at some other like big university and they're like
hire assistant or put you in charge of that program.
Yeah. So they're the head coach. They need somebody to help with them with the strength conditioning department. They know you, they can trust you. They fire all of their staff, and then now you step in as the new head strength conditioning coach. Right. And all of a sudden you go from making fucking nothing or like $20,000-$30,000 a year to all of a sudden it's a big enough school like A&M school, like you're making several $1 million a year.
Yeah.
So it's a hell of a bet.
Yeah.
Obviously one that I was not super cut out for.
Yeah,
it was hard. It was really hard.
The schedule was definitely fucking tough, and if you were like closer, it wouldn't have been as big of an issue, you know.
Yeah.
But
hour and a half. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was far.
Yeah. Fuck that.
No, not ideal.
Yeah.
You have any falling asleep at the wheel stories?
I do, but they're not as exciting as your guys's. I mean, they've just happened. So when I was with my ex, like he was a bum. He didn't drive. He didn't have his driver's license, so I drove him around everywhere.
Fuck that.
And why did I deal with the shit I dealt with? Who knows?
He had like
Character
a weed budget
development.
that she paid for all of his weed.
Yeah, I was, like sugar mama at the time.
He had
you
a
know
small
what I mean?
dick too.
Ryan Walker.
Tiny dick motherfucker.
Oh my god. Hopefully he doesn't follow you. I'm just kidding.
He's just like, what the fuck?
I'll never be able to reclaim my
fuck you and your tiny dick, bro.
I'm dead. But like I drove him around everywhere. So I would drive him to work, then I would do whatever I had to do throughout the day. And then he does catering for weddings. So, like, the hours are crazy, right? Like, weddings can go way into the freaking evening. So, I would be picking him up, or I would think I would be picking him up, and then I would be sitting there waiting for him, like, in the parking lot. Like, bro, he'd be like, sorry, we're not done yet. Maybe another hour or 2 hours. And I'm like, so do I stay here? Do I go home?
Shit.
Do I come back? You know what I mean? So like it constantly just like
fuck that.
late hours of the night. Yeah.
It's a similar story, but in a different story.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't commuting
wild.
for an hour and a half. Like, that's crazy.
That's fucking like you put yourself through a lot.
Yeah, she could do a whole podcast just on her abusive ass relationship.
I really
like,
could.
Whole 10 years that she put up with that.
Literally, it was a shitty experience, and like I'm glad I got it all out of my system because I feel like the 2 years after I got out of that relationship, it was hard for me, and I just kept talking about it all the time, and like now it's in the past, so I'm like, whoa, holy shit, why did I deal with all of that? That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it is pretty wild.
Crazy. Too abusive.
Good times.
I dealt with too much shit.
Set the bar pretty low for me though, so thanks for that.
Hold a couple doors open.
Like, I got a driver's license. I got a car. We're all set.
He's like, I pay
Like,
for my own weed.
I'll buy my weed. I'll buy my weed sometimes. Like, yeah,
Sometimes.
yeah. Sometimes, most of the time,
Crazy.
I don't get it for free or something. I don't know.
Do you have your own driver's license?
I have my own driver's license. Yeah.
Man, I was like,
The world's your
damn.
fucking oyster, bro.
Hey, Shotty, can I get that number?
I remember the first time she was training me as a manager. She was like, oh, we were like role playing, like selling me a membership.
Oh
it was like,
my God.
oh, your partner is significant over there. They know that you're here, and I'm like, no, she's dead.
Dude, we laughed so fucking hard. I remember that moment because I wasn't expecting him to say that during the role play.
It's good.
It's just like
Crying.
Happy Gilmore. She fell off a cliff. She's dead. Like, how's your girlfriend? She died. Fucking got hit by a train. Fucking bitch.
Fucking bitch.
Fucking bitch. I was like, what?
That's wild.
Yeah, that was good.
It's nice to like,
Times.
like this is a conscious human being that's not just like, oh,
I like to throw curveballs at
dude,
people.
the curveballs are the fucking best, which is why I love the good mornings. Like,
Yeah.
I love an afternoon good morning. It's like,
I know.
I never addressed it with you, but when you say it, I'm like, I fucking know. I see what you're doing.
I fucking
like,
You just
love
do
it.
it unintentionally.
Good morning.
Like,
Like, Benny, it's 5 p.m., bro.
Fuck yeah, it is.
like, for you, maybe somewhere it's morning.
Yeah,
Somewhere it's morning. Oh, I love it. We started doing it when I was on the powerlifting team. One of the guys on the powerlifting team would we started training every day at 6:00, or Sundays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and sometimes Mondays and Wednesdays. And his name is Nathan Westbrook, and he's just a beautiful human being. And he would just, good morning. How are y'all doing today? And I was like, man, this motherfucker, like every single day, like he's always just super chipper. He's a petroleum engineer, and he's had a hell of a long day, and he's all of a sudden just like in a good fucking mood.
It's fucking resetting. Like,
It's a reset, right? That's ultimately what it is. It's like whatever you had going on out there, like this is a new start whenever you start walking in here. So it was just, I fucking loved it, and I didn't do it for a very long time. I just started doing it like within the last like 6 months or a year or whatever it is. And I fucking and I fucking just, I love it so much.
yeah. I still make good choices from a friend too. It's like, I like it because people always get a kick out of it. They're like, make a choice. They're like, oh, I'll try. Or like, not today. Like, you tried to give me positive advice.
Yeah. I'm going to follow your advice.
Yeah.
Now you tell me to make good
Like,
choices.
I'm going to
not.
fucking do heroin now. Fuck you. Nobody tells me what to do.
Oh my God.
I try to find something like, how are you doing today? And I want to find something else that's a little bit also kind of like, what?
How goes it?
Yeah, the response to how are you doing today? Everybody's like, oh, I'm doing well, I'm doing good, or whatever. I say I'm alive, right? Is what I'm using right now. Yeah. But I have thought about like transferring over to like, I am not thriving, I'm improving.
Ooh.
I'm improving. How are you doing today? I'm improving.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty cool.
That is.
I like that. You know, it's
like
real. It's different than I'm just doing good or I'm doing well. How are you doing? I'm improving.
You've seen the movie Tombstone?
Have not.
No. Oh, it's a good movie, but like, so it's about Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday, and they're like good friends, and they're like first time they like see each other again in the film. He's like, well, how the hell are you? And he's like, Wyatt, I am rolling.
Why?
Like,
I am rolling.
Yeah, I'm like, I always like that too. Like me and my coach Dennis will always just like quote that movie to each other and be like, how the hell are you? Like, I am rolling. Be like,
You like rolling.
yeah. Well, because he's like thing was like he was like he cheated at gambling, but he gambled a lot and he like cheated, and then you like just pretty much take people's money and you're like, I'm fucking killing it. And he was like a gunman. He was like the best gunman in the fucking West. So like people wouldn't fuck with him. And, like people would even like call him out and be like, oh, without those guns, you're not fucking nothing but a skinny longer. And he fucking stabbed a dude. So, like, it's fucking pretty badass movie. Val Kilmer gives like a really good performance as Doc Holliday. Should have gotten best supporting actor. Did not. I suggest you watch it.
Okay. Tombstone.
Yeah, Tombstone.
All right, everyone go watch it. Also,
everybody go watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a life-changing movie.
I'm sure.
Probably my favorite movie.
I haven't really watched a lot of movies. I wish I have, but there's like certain movies that I'll just like watch on repeat. Like Longest Yard was one of those for me that I just fucking like watched, I don't know, at least 20, 30, 40 times.
The Adam Sandler one?
Yeah.
Really?
The new one, yeah.
Okay.
I loved it. Like, it's been a year since I've watched it, but like Joey Diaz in there is probably one of my favorite. Like his
Can of Corn.
Can of Corn.
Fine.
What's
Bob Sapp is in that.
Which one's Bob Sapp?
He's a giant black dude that's like,
yes.
He broke my nose.
He broke my nose.
That guy was he was a very popular fighter that fought in Japan a lot. He was a kickboxer and MMA fighter. He fought in Pride.
Really?
Yeah, he was very popular too. It was like, like he was fucking Godzilla, but he's a big black guy.
They do. The Japanese, I feel like the colored folk, or they're very like
enamored with them.
Enamored. Yeah.
But this guy's like fucking just juiced to the fucking gills. Giant. He kind of looks like, you've seen the guy where he's like sitting on the bed and like his dick's out and people like send you, oh, this crazy story about Joe Biden. Oh, it's this guy's dick. He kind of is reminiscent of that guy. He's like super juiced up. He started throwing fights, like just like fucking getting paid to just take dives.
Nice.
Interesting Bob Sapp. Yeah, Bob Sapp reference. But they are super enamored with like he's like, it's like
big
a Mandingo
thing, yeah, Mandingo,
you know?
I guess.
Like, I don't know if that's an offensive term or not. But
I don't know.
Like,
honestly, I don't know. Is that an offensive term?
That's a good question. We should find that out. We should look that up.
Comment.
Yeah.
Somebody.
maybe we'll take it out retroactively. I don't know.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like, like somebody brought this guy on a ship or something. Like, no, it's King Kong. Like,
yeah, he's the one that's fresh off the boat this time, you know?
Like, I've seen like anime and stuff. Like Mr. Popo is like super racist. Like he's like a black guy. He's got like white palms and he's got like red lipstick and like weird eyes.
Oh,
like, I don't know if he's supposed to be a black guy or like what's going on here. They changed him when they redid Dragon Ball to Dragon Ball Super. They made him like blue, like bright neon, super aggressive blue. Like it hurts your eyes to look at him. Like he's so blue. I'm like, I understand why you guys did this, but if you could have gone just a slightly different route, make him a white guy. It's fine.
Make him a white guy.
Take away the red lipstick around his fucking lips. Like I don't know. That's fucking. Don't make him just fucking blue. Like somebody's gonna have a fucking stroke. He's so blue.
Someone's gonna have a stroke.
Purple would have been better.
But yeah.
Yeah, like a dark purple.
Longest Yard. Bill Goldberg's in that. Steve Austin's in it. Kevin Nash is in it.
You're really good at this.
Yeah.
You know why?
Autism.
Yeah. I never got into actors' names. I couldn't also do that.
He can reference just about anything, and I just sit here and he can go back and forth with like his teammates and other people, and I'll just sit here like, you guys are on a whole nother different planet.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
I feel like I have like a borderline photographic memory. I just use it for like the most like obscure fucking nonsense, like not useful shit at all. You know, but like there's other shit that I remember like supplements and like workout stuff and like, but like movies is like the thing that I really key in on, and I'm like, oh yeah, that guy. Like I can't tell you much about like their filmography or their history, but like the references in movies, or like, oh, that guy was in that guy was in this, like, you know.
I don't even know the names of them.
Yeah,
I never like. I watched the movie for what the movie is, and then I'm like, all right, well, that was good.
Yeah. You don't even care who the fucking actor is.
I know Adam Sandler because he's, I guess, often like he's like people like if people like acknowledge somebody like, oh, that is that person, then I'm like, oh, okay, like I can remember that.
You know,
or
Chris
like,
Rock's in the movie, right?
I do know Chris Rock's in the movie. Yeah, that one I did know.
And Burt Reynolds.
I know Burt Reynolds is in there.
So Kevin Nash was in NWO, Big Sexy. He was in the WCW and the WWF, right? You know those references, like NWO. He is the guy that they replace his steroids with estrogen. And then he's like, my nipples feel weird. And he's like, why are you yelling at me? That's Kevin Nash.
Okay.
And then Stone Cold Steve Austin's the super racist guy that calls Nelly the N-word in the library.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice. Okay.
And then Bill Goldberg is the guy. He's
What
one
word?
he's one of the inmates. Goldberg. Bill Goldberg's a wrestler also, but he's the guy with like they keep making jokes about him having a hammer for a dick or whatever. Like apparently he's got a big dick.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are all professional wrestlers.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know.
those are like people like that during the Attitude Era where like I was super into pro wrestling too. So
That's cool.
yeah,
That
going back
makes
and
sense.
watching it, you're like, oh, fuck, that's Nelly. Like what the fuck? And
Nelly's
like,
in it, yeah.
Michael Irvin's in it, the football player from the Dallas Cowboys.
Is he? Which one is he?
He's one of the inmates. Black
Is
guy.
he one of them playing basketball?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, he's the one that's
transfers
playing
over?
basketball. That he's
main
like, yo,
dude.
fuck you, bro. Like he's like the main dude that like he can't get him on his team. But once
Yeah.
Steve Austin calls Nelly the N-word, then he's like, nah, I'm gonna help you because fuck that white guy.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
realize that was. Wow, that's kind of cool.
I've only seen that movie like twice too. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I am good about remembering. Like I can remember the specific scene, what he's wearing. He's like wearing the blue.
Yeah.
He's wearing a beanie that's like really
Yeah.
far down low on his
Yeah, yeah.
face. I remember the scene.
yeah.
I don't know people.
You didn't put together like that. Hey, like I have a hard time because like when I see somebody in something that they're like it's outside, like I know them from something else. I'm like, well, that's that guy. Like, why are you this guy now?
Well, I don't really watch sports.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know
fair
any-
enough. Yeah,
WWE. I don't know anybody. I don't know any wrestlers. I've never really watched. Like I would watch football, but I can see people's numbers
right.
Right.
and I can know the name. But like sometimes you see the photo that they like, come up. It's like Steve Nash, LSU, and like all of a sudden like you see like them in real like you see like a photo of them and like that's not the same dude. And so like which one do I imprint inside of my head? Like
Yeah.
and so I just instead of wasting I guess like mental space, I'm just like I don't know. I know the name and
Yeah.
I can
Yeah,
reference the name.
I gotcha.
Same.
Emmett Smith, Joe Rogan. I know that
Yeah,
face though.
Emmitt Smith,
Those
yeah,
are
running back,
easy,
yeah.
but those are also popular. Emmett Smith, Aikman, and I only really know Cowboys guys.
90s Cowboys. Well, Michael Irvin was part of that. Like
He was,
that-
I
he was
guess,
in that
Yeah,
genre, that timeline. Same 90s Cowboys when they were good.
yeah. Once upon a time.
Once upon a time. It's been a long time.
This
they're
year.
really yeah, like people are just really hanging their hat on like, man, that's America's team. In the 90s, they were good. They were going to be good again. The South will rise again. It's like, you maybe just like relax. Like stop saying this year's the year. Just let it happen. And if it happens, then yay. But like you keep on setting them up for failure because expectations are always so high, and then they fucking crumble in the playoffs because it's like, you guys, you're gonna do us right this year. It's the time. Now's the time.
This is
You guys
the
are on
year.
for it. And they're like, oh fuck, I have so much anxiety right now.
Every single year.
Every single year.
At the start of the year, everyone's always like, if you're like a Cowboys fan, then it's just like, this is the year. This is the year. For the last 20 years, they fucked it up. But you know what? This is the year.
They're finally gonna figure it out.
And then all of a sudden,
That
they
collective-
they don't figure it out.
Yeah,
again.
that collective, like they're gonna figure it out for millions and millions of fans. And all that pressure is going directly onto those players.
Yeah.
They're just
The
like, maybe
anxiety
if you
is
just
real.
fucking just
Yeah.
like just shut up, just leave them alone, just
Pressure.
let them do their thing, and
Yeah.
like it'll be okay. But people can't. Been talking about the draft for like fucking months and months and months and months. Now the draft is happening. They're like, did this team fuck up? Just let them play the game, and then we'll find out. Like, stop fucking hypothetical situation. Who cares?
Yeah.
It's like the fucking people are getting paid millions and millions of dollars is going towards advertising for a 24 hours news cycle of sports, just nothing but sports, nothing but the NFL, and talking about the draft.
Wild to me.
That is.
It's
I
it's
don't
fucking bananas.
It's
And those are the
wild.
people, the people that are creating that situation by putting their money into it and viewing it are the people that need to go.
I don't disagree.
That's the problem.
Cycling
is
back.
because those people have, that's the problem, is those people have no lives. They have nothing else going on. They hate their jobs. They hate their wives. They hate their kids. They hate everything about their life. But they're like, how about them Cowboys?
Oh.
You know what I mean? That's it. That's all it is.
How about them Cowboys?
You know, that's all they got going for them. And then that's why you see grown men like breaking their TVs when it comes to playoffs and Super
Ah,
Bowls,
Good point.
because their entire fucking ego is
Existence.
tied into other men playing a game.
Their entire existence.
Like, just,
Yeah.
you know, like you need something. You need something else. Like, do drugs or something. I don't know. Fuck, dude. Right?
Anything.
Like,
Right, do some
do
soul
anything
searching.
else. Like, I almost feel like heroin is probably more healthy
fuck.
than that.
Go do some shrooms for a little bit or something.
Right.
You know?
If you do like 4 grams of shrooms, you're not gonna fucking care anymore.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna have a fucking experience, and it's not gonna. You're gonna be like, fuck, man. You might blow your brains out and be like, I've been wasting the fucking last 10 years of my life, fucking watching other men pursue a physical sport. Like you can go play on a flag football team or something, bro. Go like do something. You know? What? Oh, Jeff.
Really?
I don't feel like I'm not like, I don't know. I'm not like, I'll fuck those people. Like, you know, just like, that's, you know, that's the thing. That's his thing is he's like, he thought he would be more successful at physical endeavors. And, you know, he's good at one thing. There's one thing he's pretty good at, but he's not making any money off of it. But it's like, oh, I could have been a fucking MMA fighter. I could have been a football player. I could have been a baseball player. Maybe not. Maybe you're not that good at sports. Maybe you're not that athletic.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Just let it go.
Yeah.
Like I never done a drug in my life. Well, it sounds like you need some because you need to fucking ego death, bro. Like I'm gonna fucking like
it's a lie, honestly.
Many times I was like, I'm gonna fucking dose you like I'm secretly, and you're not gonna know.
Just drop a tab and just fucking drink.
Drop some fucking acid in your shit and just fucking, you know, like you need a couple of ego deaths, dog. Like.
Yeah, he definitely needs to come down. And some people just really gravitate towards that one thing, but I think you're definitely right. Like if you put this much thought or love into this one sport, and then like if you take some shrooms, you realize, oh, this doesn't really matter.
Right.
Like why am I so focused on this one thing? And like when they obviously don't care about you. Like that's my like why do you care so much about people that don't even know your name, don't ever care? You're never gonna be in those circles. Like move on, do something that's actually like valuable, even if it's like it's not now on the national level, but you could be the best fucking garbage picker upper in your city.
Yeah.
Like that's fucking high value for your small community or for your big community. Like. Yeah. Stop fucking worrying about what these people that you're never gonna like have any influence over or really have any. It really shouldn't have any influence over you other than like, oh, they stay active. Great.
Maybe just like clean your house and like make a positive impact on society, like your local, the things that you can actually affect, like your neighborhood, your town. That's it. That's all you got to do.
Worry about the things you can control.
It's like from like a broader perspective, it's like we're spinning through infinity on a fucking ball that's eventually going to get fucking absorbed by the sun. And it's like nothing matters really. Like at the end of the day, like anything you do probably gonna get remembered for a little bit, like, but beyond your like grandchildren, nobody's gonna remember you. That's it. Like most people aren't gonna get remembered. And even if they do, like fucking Emmitt Smith, like played football fucking 30 years ago. We still know his name, but in 100 years, is the NFL gonna exist in 100 years? In 1,000 years?
Definitely not.
What the fuck? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, and eventually you're going to die and maybe there's an afterlife, but maybe it's just like before you were born. Do you remember that? You don't? Okay. Maybe it's like that.
I think the most important thing is just living your life and being happy with your life. Right. So like if playing fucking flag football makes someone happy, then fucking do it. But like, don't do it for the fame and all the other bullshit.
Or to like
None
just
of that matters.
Be like, oh, I'm better than these guys because I can run faster and I can reach for their ass and grab the little fucking tassel.
Reach for their ass.
Like you're just chasing other guys around playing touch butt essentially. Like I just got to touch your butt and I win.
That is part of it. I do think like if nothing does matter, then at the end of the day, does it really matter that I'm complaining that people like football as much as they do? I think my frustration is when people are so involved with the sports that they're involved with without having like any real, like they're fat, they're not doing anything, they're lazy, they're like,
right.
You can like, sure, you can use that as like your time to like watch a movie. That's your entertainment. Sure. That's cool.
Yeah.
But then if that's the only thing that really like you're ever putting your time towards and like you really own, that's the only thing you really care about, and your kid hasn't seen you in 3 days, or you haven't played, you haven't ever like thrown a ball with your kid,
had a catch like, with your kid.
Like what are your priorities at? Like you just like maybe your like
priorities are all fucked up.
Yeah, your priorities are all fucked up. And like yes, that's me coming from an outside perspective and I don't know the full story. But like at the end, like yes, sure, like all these things don't matter. Fighting doesn't necessarily matter. The NFL, the UFC, they don't matter, but they provide some sort of value, but not at the detriment of like those yourself and then those around you.
Correct. Yeah. And like for those people that completely avoid their families, like that's on you, bro. Like why did you decide to have a kid? Why did you decide to get married? Like, figure it out. Right. Don't make those people miserable just because you're fucking miserable.
No. Yeah. Maybe just don't be coming to people. Like, just like, take responsibility for your fucking actions, or don't take the actions.
Don't be coming inside anybody.
Yeah, just don't be coming. Stop. Just how we gotta stop coming, guys.
We're gonna end on that. Stop coming. Cheers. Love y'all. Like, share, subscribe to all the things. All right. Love y'all.
Thank you for listening to the Ben Nevares podcast. Check us out on iTunes, Spotify, and all other major podcast hosting platforms. Be sure to leave us a 5-star review on iTunes.